and welcome
to episode 310 of the Filmmakers Podcast.
This is a podcast where we talk
filmmaking,
from indie films to studio films and
everything in between.
How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to
royally F them up.
In our very, very humble opinion, I am Giles Alderson.
And I am Dom Lenoir.
And we are live. Of course we're live. It's a podcast. It's ridiculous. We're not live. We're recording it.
We're alive. Just about.
We are outside the Kino Cinema in Bermondsey now, where 3 Day Millionaire is literally playing. We've just done the intro. We've come outside to record today's episode for you.
Some very Kino audience members.
I like that.
I'm very keen for my dinner, but we're outside doing the podcast instead. But that's important too. That's important too.
But who do we have on, Dom Lenoir?
We have an amazing guest. It's Laure de Clermont-Tonnerre, the director of Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Oh
the
my
new
gosh.
Netflix classic.
It is released today on Netflix. Apologies, there's a guy on the phone. Oh, there's two security guards talking right
from Sainsbury's. Hashtag Sainsbury's.
Other supermarkets are available. But Lady Chatterley's Lover is out on Netflix today, and Dom Lenoir and returning guest host for the third time in literally a month is
Connor Buto. How do you say it?
Connor
Burrow. That's
Burrow, the legend himself. He does join Dom Lenoir. Where were you recording this?
The Corinthia Hotel.
Again, your favourite place?
It is my favourite place. Best bar in Europe.
Did you get nibbles this time and coffee?
There were no nibbles,
cake?
just sparkling water and no water, but the best sparkling water.
It's the best. Tell us what.
Don't have sparkling water when you're about to do an interview though. Hiccups are no joke.
Oh.
I didn't, but.
Oh, well, it's probably better than burping and farting.
That's true.
Which has happened before.
Not for me.
So tell us what you talked about with Laure de Clermont-Tonnerre about Lady Chatterley's Lover.
We talked about creating a very distinctive look for the film, shooting in a beautiful location, the cinematography, and adapting a novel.
How very novel. That was a motorbike. It's fun recording it outside. It's freezing cold here.
Yes, it is.
It's beautiful cinema. It's absolutely delightful if you've never been to it. And it's a packed audience as well.
It is.
There's a lot of my friends in there, and you always worry what people are going to think of your movie. Is it going to get laughs? Are people going to like it? Usually when it's friends and family, you do get a much nicer response. So let's see what happens. Oh, I must say, Lady Chatterley's Lover, if you don't know, does star Emma Corrin.
And Jack O'Connell.
And Jolie Richardson and Faye Marseille and Ella Hunt as well. So do go check this out on Netflix. What would people make of this movie?
Essentially, it's a romance, and it's a modern take on that, and it's those deep, passionate loves that happen, and the unexpected nature in which they come about.
It is based on a best-selling novel. I think there was a very famous TV series out in the 90s, Naughty, starring Sean Bean, and now this
is a better version.
There's a much, it's probably much better.
Well, it's better reviewed. It's better reviewed. So that's a good start.
That's already a good start.
Yeah.
It is about an unhappily married aristocrat. She begins a torrid affair with a gamekeeper on her husband's country estate.
And what an estate they get into.
What estate they get into. You're going to love this movie. It's really cool. And Dom and Connor have obviously smashed the interview. I was still away in Spain at the time filming the TV series, but I'm back now, but still it's going out now. But anyway, Dom, we have got a very special announcement to make, not only about 3 Day Millionaire, still in cinemas, still doing a Q&A tour. That's not what it is though. What is it?
It is a very top secret guest.
Top secret.
I
like that.
And it's very likely to blow your eardrums with the level of guests that we have coming on. It's ludicrous.
If you put a gun to my head, who would you say? Could you give us a clue?
I couldn't. I won't give you a clue.
Top
Mostly
secret.
Because I've been stuck in an edit around this exhausting tour.
You have.
Making a very special video.
We made a special video
to introduce this guest because it was so ludicrous.
So that is coming for you next Tuesday. This Tuesday, in fact. Very, very special guest. Maybe the biggest we've had on the Filmmakers Podcast. Dom Lenoir sat down with this special person and had a brilliant chat. Again, I was away and I was so upset. I literally missed it by 2 days. But that is is how it is. That is life. But still, we bring it for you. So, the tour, the
Tour de Force.
The Tour de Force that is Dom Lenoir, the Torshank Redemption. We are still touring this film. We're going around cinemas around the UK. A link to that is in the show notes. If you do fancy joining us, come in to meet me, Jack Spring, Dom Lenoir, some of the cast members talking about how we made the film. Talking.
There we go.
Brilliant. About how we made the movie. You could either listen to last week's episode as well.
You should as well. Yeah.
And you definitely should, with myself, Jack Spring and Dom Lenoir, live from an Airbnb.
Yes. Yeah, well, that was a good one, actually. We talked about neurodivergence and ADHD, which has been really popular. That one. So,
you say it like it's been popular as in people are buying it from shelves.
They should.
And, well,
then it might go into my holiday fund.
That's the holiday fund that you desperately need, and I want you to have a holiday.
Yeah, I need it.
You do need it, and you've done brilliantly well with us on this. So, do check out the links. They are in the show notes. Do go to Showcase Cinemas around the UK, and do watch it now. 3 Day Millionaire is on Sky Store. It is on Amazon Prime. It is on Google Play. It is on Rakuten. It is on Prime. Have I missed one?
No.
So there you go. That is 3 Day Millionaire, blah, 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 plugging it away. But why not? Why not? When we make a film, we put so much effort into it. Why can't I tell you about it? Right? You're the loves of my life. All of you amazing people who listen to this podcast week in and week out. And I hope you get something from it. I imagine you do, because you do listen to it week in and week out. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Yeah, as grateful as we are for the people outside.
Yes, for those chatting. Hopefully you won't hear that, because Toby, our brilliant editor, probably gets rid of them.
He might not.
But there is music over this as well, so hopefully you'll hear us. Right, this is it. Let's get to this week's episode. Dom Lenoir, Conor Buru chatting about Lady Chatterley's lover.
Having a Lady Chatterley.
Having a great Lady Chatterley about it. Where can they watch it?
Netflix.
Now.
Deploy.
Enjoy this week's episode. We'll see you Tuesday for that very special guest.
Time for food.
Let's eat.
Hi there. We're
nice to
delighted to meet Laure de Clermont-Tonnerre, if I pronounced that correct, or
yes,
close to correct.
Actually, very good.
Yeah, I've got a bit of French blood in me, so
Lenoir.
Yes, sense. Yeah. We're delighted to have you here. You're the director of Lady Chatterley's Lover. You've just premiered at LFF. How are you feeling to have your film in such a prestigious festival?
Oh, I'm very honored to discover this film here with a British audience, especially because it's your monument of literature, and I'm really excited to be able to show the film here and with the cast and crew. So that's very exciting.
And how did this whole thing start for you?
It started actually, it was April 2020, full pandemic. We were all locked in, and I received a script, adaptation of Lady Chatterley's Lover. I had known the book, but I had read it a long time ago, and I read the story, and it's such a celebration to life and to human connection, and I just felt that this is what we needed to we were craving the closeness and of being together, and so it was really my first input was to explore and the importance of human connection in the nature. Also, obviously, D.H. Lawrence is the first writer to talk about female sexual pleasure. And this was why the reason the novel was banned, because it was obscene. And his point was to really glorify sexuality and to make it pure and beautiful and nothing shameful and dirty. But he was very avant-garde in defeating puritanity, and for those reasons banned. So I just felt that telling the story through Connie's eyes and to really explore her journey through intimacy, under her skin, and to really understand her journey towards freedom was an important reminder of a woman taking ownership of her body. And that's something that feels still timely, unfortunately.
So in terms of adapting a story like this, you've already read the novel, are there any moments when you read the script and you're thinking, okay, I like this, there's certain bits about the character I'd like to bring out? How does that sort of process coming on as a director?
Yes, absolutely. It's a very different process than bringing your own writing. So you have to kind of put to shape it a bit to yourself, or to kind of find your right shoes in it, and make sure that it reflects your vision. The script was already in really good shape, but I really wanted to emphasize Connie's point of view, which was not in the script. It was more like omniscient point of view, and for me, she was telling the story, and that was kind of like my take on it. I needed to really, being immersive, visceral, and give a sensorial experience, and put the importance of nature back into the film and make it a character.
That's really interesting. I mean, working with, it was David McGee, right? That wrote the screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about collaborating in that sense? When you're working with someone who's done such huge films, Life of Pi, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you go about collaborating and finding what you're connecting with in the material?
Yeah, it was like a lot of conversations. Obviously, everything was towards Zoom because it was like pandemic, so that was challenging. I wish we were all together, in the same room, but we managed to do it through Zoom, and I was like reading the novel as well after. So there's some elements and details that I really love that wasn't in the script, because obviously when you have to adapt a 500 pages novel, you have to make choices. So there were things that was more relevant to me, or things that I wanted to emphasize more, and he was always listening and add back those details that I really loved. And after working with the actors, was important to make sure that they were comfortable with their dialogue. So they had a lot of notes as well. So it was all, and they both read the book again. So it was going from the adaptation from David McGee, going also back from the books to feel like the real essence of D.H. Lawrence, and his modernity and his sense of humor. There's a lot of sense of humor and criticism that's really, really good. And we were ping-ponging between the novel, the adaptation, and what we wanted to bring today to the audience.
And did you have a very clear idea about casting from the word go? Did you sort of have these actors in mind, or did that kind of come through the collaboration of the producing team and that?
Yeah, it came actually, because obviously, the challenge of reviving a novel like Lady Chatterley's Lover that's been adapted multiple times, you need to bring something new, and the casting is really that very important element that will bring modernity or not. And
just a quick one. Mm-hmm. Had you watched the original, some of the other adaptions, or did you prefer to go in with your own take, not taking that into mind?
I knew one of them that I had seen a long time ago, but I didn't wanted to rewatch it or to watch new ones that I didn't know. I just felt that it was nice to be aware of them, obviously, and understanding what was the emphasis and which ones. But ultimately, I wanted to keep my mind fresh. So, and never been influenced. So then I had going back to the casting. I had seen The Crown, and because I was thinking about young British actresses, and The Crown really struck me because I thought that Emma Corrin's performance playing Lady Diana was so fresh, and there was an immediacy. There has a quality of being here and now, which is extremely a very surprising freshness and energy that seems unexpected. And the first time we talked, they shared their strong connection with the material, and they said, "Wow, this scene about dancing naked under the rain, that's something I would love to do because it's so liberating reading it. I need to experience it." So I was like, "Welcome on board, Emma. It's wonderful."
Not every day you can do that in public.
No, and the spontaneity. She's so spontaneous. They're so spontaneous. They have this, and they needed to really explore this ecstatic freedom. An iconic scene was for them such a symbolic moment that they were excited to jump in. And then we opened the casting to not to a lot of actors, and it was really hard to portray Oliver Mellers without being cliche. You don't want to portray like it's easy to be in the trap of like the man in the wood and the like antisocial and wordless and I always loved Jack O'Connell's work.
It's very grounded, isn't it?
It's very grounded, and meeting Jack, there's a balance between raw and refined. He's very sensitive, he's very tender, and is vulnerable, and he's not afraid of being vulnerable, which makes a very interesting balance. And it also comes from the same town, from Derby. It's a coincidence from Oliver Mellers. So he hasn't read the book at the time, so he was reading it and he was like, wow, I feel even more and more stronger connection with the character because I understand the background, because I'm from the same background. And that gave so much authenticity and texture and also the great luck that wasn't predictable, was that they got along so well, that they had this huge chemistry out of trust and honesty and being really good friends, and had the same sense of humor. And that's something that, you can't create everything, but there's no chemistry, there's no film. So we were very lucky.
Absolutely. I mean, you've come from an acting background yourself, right?
Yeah.
How has that helped shape you as a director? Because I know there's a lot of actors that listen to the show. A lot of them are trying to make their own work. They're trying to make their own shorts, features. I myself have come from an acting background, moved into directing. How has that helped you move forward as a director?
Oh, this is when I started directing. This is the only thing that I knew was to understand actors and to talk with actors, to connect with them, because I knew what was. I had empathy and knew what it was to be in front of people, in front of camera, and being vulnerable. I knew nothing about technical aspects of. I mean, I had observed a lot, but I never went to film school. And obviously, talking about lenses and lights, I was kind of behind. But knowing acting and actors, it was crucial because it really helped me to understand the human emotions on screen and to be able to have empathy, understand where they come from, making sure that to create a safe place so that they can feel loved. And not only loved, respected and supported in their research of, giving the best performance and playing the character. So I think that was a key. And as an actor, actually, remember from the past that there are some directors that sometimes don't know actors, don't know how to direct them, so avoid it and kind of like are very technical, but are scared to connect with actors because. So I just would recommend to every directors to be in acting school or acting class and to see that, because it's I think it's extremely important elements of filmmaking.
Yeah, I spent 6 months going to acting class just to watch. And just so I could learn it, and it was a completely different skill. I used to look at actors as placeholders and think about the technical. But if the actor isn't comfortable and motivated in what they're doing and sort of feeling like there's a reason for it, then there's only so much you can do on the technical side, and it's not going to translate.
Exactly, I think that's most important is to be able to have like a authentic emotion, authentic journey arc of a character, and you have to believe it. And so it's also, I mean, you can have great actors, but if you don't create for them something that, it's you have to help them. And so that's kind of like what I enjoy the most, is to be able to work and collaborate with actors.
And what was the rehearsal period for this? Did you have any rehearsal time? Was it over Zoom? Did you more go through stuff in advance? Can you sort of talk about that process and how you like to work with your actors?
I mean, prepping from Zoom was really hard. It was like a COVID film, and we were all like masked and on Zoom, and it was we didn't have any office to gather, to reunite. That was very challenging. And we can feel even more because it's a film about human connection. It was like, we all need to be connected, preparing a collective artwork and a film. So I could feel so much need that, we were so happy finally to be on set because we could feel each other. But we were lucky to have 2 weeks of rehearsal with the actors and the intimacy coordinator. Her name is Ita O'Brien, and she really helped so much to create this safe environment where we will all be able to talk freely about sexuality and what we were expecting from those scenes and what it should expressed as emotional statement and journey for the characters and the relationship. And the challenge was to be able to not be redundant or gratuitous, but to really talk about their emotion and tell a story through the poetry of body language, and so we approached it as choreography, as dancing choreography.
And it allows more freedom, actually, and more authenticity, would you say?
Yes, much more, because everything was so precise, and that we knew exactly what we wanted to achieve and how we wanted to achieve it. Obviously, the actors, it was kind of like, their own journey, but because we talked so much through it, and we choreographed it, we shaped it together. It broke the ice. So on set, even though obviously they had to undress, it was familiar in a way because they had to rehearse it, and because through all those rehearsals, we bonded some very strong partnership and trust. And so that was key. And actually, Ita on set was next to me, and we were watching takes, and she was like, would you like more breathing? Would you like more of those details? And it was like, I would never dare to ask. And it was like, but I will ask, because don't worry, we'll make sure it's really authentic and it's good and they feel comfortable. So really, she really helped me also to make sure that I could portray it in a very authentic way, and to really carefully direct those scenes.
I think that's actually quite an underestimated part of being a director. Is like, that's quite an awkward position to be in, because you're trying to get your vision, but you feel sensitive.
Like, it's sensitive, and I feel like you're a perv behind my monitor.
That's what I wanted to say.
Exactly, like a voyeurist. And it's like, I'm a terrible person.
How do you make it natural?
Exactly, and to feel like, excuse me, do you think you can? It's terrible. So to have someone facilitating the communication, being able to say, it's okay to ask that, it's okay, don't worry, I'm here. She was like, she just made it, she just guaranteed a comfort where we were all like, it was desexualized. So it became like choreographed, it became precise, it became like, it was very professional. And if she wasn't there, I would have never been able to direct those scenes in a way that that I really wanted to, because I would have felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think a lot of directors that haven't worked with intimacy coordinators, they look at it as like another challenge. But actually, from all the directors I've spoken to that have worked with them, it's actually a help, and it's a benefit, and it's just another department, like a stunt coordinator that brings something that makes it more real and makes everyone more comfortable.
Oh, absolutely, completely. I think that it was a key person on set. I could see the benefits of it so much, and she's also kind of like, as a therapist, like talking to the actors, making sure they're fine, making sure there's nothing bothering them. And I think it's such a relief also for them, instead of being, as an actor, I've been actually through those situations where nothing was prepared and I was kind of left alone in front of the camera, and now, and no one would guide me on anything, no one would talk to me. And this is terrible, because you feel so alone, and it's very humiliating. So I think was very important.
So going into the visual side, you've mentioned your acting background, and cameras, lenses, maybe a little bit newer territory to you. What was your process in terms of putting together a look? Because it's a very distinctive look, the film, and it really captures the texture of the kind of the rain and the weather and the vintage elements.
I did catch up with a bit more of a technical details when after my short films, and what I wanted from this film to be is to be obviously to glorify landscapes and nature. So to find someone who had like a very strong color palette, and Benoît Delorme is also a painter, and there is a very interesting background for the film, because he was bringing a lot of references, a lot of artists from the time period, but also we were really interested in that autochrome, the autochrome photography from the 20s, and we kind of like got inspired by this technique, but modernizing it through our modern tools. and cameras and lenses, and so we had this green and color palette that we wanted to kind of diffuse and have like this very bright and pieces, touches of colors through her costumes, a very loose camera to really like give like the feeling of being restless, of the being very energized, a Connie instead of inside, which is much more controlled and a bit oppressive and with like tighter frames. And
is that kind of to represent the husband character and,
yes,
and his kind of the stuckness of the situation,
the corset, corset, like instead of like the looseness of going outside, and you can see when she's kind of like running, there's always a feeling of like lightness and spontaneity, and that's really about having this handheld feel and loose, and never going to be we're avoiding like stillness when we're outside. There was like a very, and also like it created this kind of vertigo of being inside outside.
Yeah, you definitely feel the push pull between the sort of the beautiful nature and the expansive freedom, and then this kind of sort of stuffy stuck inside.
And to give a visceral, like a physical experience, because then when you edit all together, you have like it becomes like from a tight frame just to opening and going outside, and then it just you have to invest yourself physically into this experience.
And was it all shot in one location? How did you find the location? Was it all just Google Images, or did you get to go on location hunting?
No, we went on location. And we loved this one, especially because there was this hill, and geographically it was really like symbolic of class and going up and down the hill and all the journey of Connie. And it was really important to see her, traveling to see Miller and then back at the house and then again and this beautiful house, but kind of scary, towering over the hill, felt like a character, felt like Clifford was always watching. So it was really interesting. And it was in Wales, and Wales is like, the nature is so beautiful, less manicured, more untouched, very dense. And so that was a great forest. Like everything was there. So it was really, really helpful for us.
I mean, the visuals were amazing. And actually got a chance to check out one of your early short films, Rabbit, which was
you did, thank you.
Fantastic. And the visuals, even from the very start, that one shot, the rabbit in the cage, it was fantastic. And I mean, I'm just interested as well personally how you made that transition from directing a short and moving into your first feature. It's a big step. Some people think it's just a longer version of a short film, but there's so much more to it. There's so many more people involved, I'm imagining.
Completely. No. My first feature film was actually like the extension of the short one, because Mustang, the Mustang is like the same story with a horse. Same story. Yes, it says, developed obviously, but with horse. So
it's a big rabbit, basically.
Exactly, just a big rabbit. No, the first short film, so it was Atlantic Avenue. So it was about the intimacy of a disabled young woman, shot in New York. Second one, I had like read this therapy in prison with animals, so it was like very odd pairing, but really interesting, and I wanted to explore more. So I did Rabbit, and then I found out there was the same program with wild horses in Nevada. So I went to Nevada thinking that I'm not done with this topic, I need to explore more. And so I went there, I did a lot of research, interviewed a lot of inmates in the prison. I had met this therapist who opened me like the doors of prison and brought me with her on interviewing and understanding anger, understanding like the journey of those men. So that was like very powerful, but it took a long time, because obviously when you do a short film to the feature, which was like this ambitious film in prison with wild horses, and it was my first feature film, and people, financiers was like, it's a great idea, but it sounds really challenging, and it was hard. It was really hard it took 5 years to finance it. Sundance Institute really helped so much, because they selected the project at the Sundance Labs.
How did you find a producer? I mean, how were you looking for a producer in those 5 years? What was your okay, I've done some notable acting. How am I going to now find the right person to get the project? Do you sort of make pitch decks? Were you doing all that kind of thing, or was it like all based on the script and trying to find people that were good collaborators? Because it's the difficult part of the puzzle is getting the finance.
Very, but because I'm French, I was based in France, and thanks to the Sundance Labs, I was actually going back and forth a lot. I was going to all the Sundance labs who really helped me to meet people. And I knew that I needed someone from there, but I also wanted to keep my European DNA. So I was looking for kind of someone who knew like both ways of approaching cinema. And there was this a French producer based in LA working with a young American producer. So there was a great combination because we could raise money from France first, and then we were missing like the biggest part of it. And we found like Focus Features came on board and financed us.
Not a bad company to have.
Absolutely. I mean, we were really, really lucky. So yes, it was someone that kind of like had the muscles to really like embark on this crazy journey and be able to understand also my needs as trying to protect the creative, financing it from both sides, which was actually very smart.
And what was your biggest challenge making that first feature film?
Time. We had 22 days to shoot that film with stunts and wild horses. I mean, we were racing. We had like not a second of breathing. It was yeah. Because no, really, so it was running around all the time, trying to steal. If we were like once 2 minutes, it was like let's shoot this, and we were like, being always on the starting block, like and trying to capture whatever we could. It was really hard. Actually, we were really missing one day, and we begged for it, and we finally had one more day, and that was really, 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 really helpful because we didn't have the ending. So it was just like we had like this kind of struggle with the light. It was really challenging shooting in Nevada, and it was beautiful. It was like the light is changing every hours, and so it was we were losing light very easily, and so everything was outside. Working with horses, obviously. I mean, yes, you have to be prepared. We had an amazing horse wrangler. Without him, it's kind of like you need to have one key person when you're doing who is just really helping you exploring a field that you're not familiar to. I mean, I know horses, I love horses, but I have no idea how to control them. So
I've heard they're notoriously difficult to shoot as well, even just framing. I don't know, I've never done it, but I've just heard even
big animals, aren't they?
Big animals
yes.
Can make it a weird frame at times.
And I say it was a choreography. Exactly as we approached choreography in this film and Lady Chatterley's Lover is that the choreography, we had 2 weeks of rehearsal as well, where Matthias Schoenaert was riding his horse, and with the hero horse, the animal wrangler, and the cinematographer. And the cinematographer was also like handheld, was kind of very agile, athletic. And the 4 of them had to find in a very, very tight space a way to feel each other, but never to step on each other. So it was very delicate. It was kind of a dancing. I feel that it was, it's kind of like, it was a very intimate moment between the man and the horse, capturing through like they were all like dancing around the camera. It was very, really, yeah. And thanks to the animal wrangler, it was amazing.
So after this film, what do you feel you learnt taking into your next feature? I mean, were there any moments that you just thought, okay, I've learnt this, I'm definitely never doing that again?
After the first one or the second one?
After the first one, yeah.
Yes, the time. Time is very precious, so it was very challenging. I mean, we needed this intense energy, but there's also, it was working for this film, but definitely if I wanted to do something a little bit more controlled, it wouldn't have been possible, because we were like kind of improvising a lot and shooting 2 cameras and as much as possible. Yes, I knew that I really needed more rehearsal time and more time of shooting. But still, you always have, you always find, even if we have much more comfort, much more days, much more space, there's always, you're always struggling after, and like racing after time. It's I never heard a story about, oh, we had so much time, we finished early. Never.
Too much time.
I think it's always like there's always a moment where you have to look at your watch and say, oh my God, how am I going to do, and to make compromise but in these restrictions also sometimes you find the best scenes.
Going back to Lady Chatterley, how did you manage the character of the husband? Because I think there's a bit of a balancing act in terms of creating someone that you feel sorry for, but then you also feel very justified in the way that the story sort of develops with the relationship that sort of forms. Was that all in the script when it arrived, or was it something you had to sort of look at very carefully?
No, because it's true that if you don't have empathy for him, then you have less empathy for her. So you need to really understand the triangle and her struggles. You have to believe that it's a love story that's honest and a marriage that's going to work. And Clifford is as injured in the war. He's definitely feel trapped in his wheelchair after being injured, but he's also he's never been also someone really interested in sexuality, and he denies her body. He neglects her body. Because his way to love her is more cerebral than physical. And there's a moment in the book when she says, I'm dying, I'm 27-year-old, and my body feels dry, I'm dying because no one is paying attention to it. And it's this kind of relationship that feel very, very neglected, and it's kind of slowly dying. And but you needed to understand, why Clifford feels this way, and how, his idea of like building an empire, of having an heir, was for him like the survival need, and how he would just kind of like give something from himself that he has lost. So we opened the casting to disabled actors. I had worked in the past with authentic people when I was like working with inmates in Nevada. I really wanted to have former inmates and bringing the experience. For Clifford, I just felt that someone who had the experience of being in a wheelchair or had a disability would also bring this humanity, this empathy, this truth. And I was really, when we met Matthew Dockett, he's a stage actor, and he would share with us and being very open and vulnerable about his disability. And I just felt it brought something that's unique to Clifford. And you feel sorry for him. Yeah,
and I think what you said about cerebral was really fascinating. And one thing you did really well was the carer and him, the kind of showing the sort of small vignettes of their relationship forming, like playing cards together, their chats. And you can tell that it's not sort of about the sort of the sexual connection. It's about having someone who can join him in an activity. And then to see the contrast between those two was really interesting, because then you obviously see the contrast between the other two. And I thought that was a really good, it shows even more the differences by having the sort of the two groupings. Almost.
Yes, as people are not made from the same wood, they're not from the same nature. So ultimately they have really little in common. And what Connie understands about herself, that her needs is much more in sync toward Mellor's need than toward Clifford's need. So this is what's really moving, is that how two creatures recognize that they belong from the same nature.
Is there one bit of advice to finish up that you could give your younger self about directing or to aspiring filmmakers?
Yes, definitely. I would say follow your instinct. Follow your instinct very tightly, because this is why people want to work with you, is because you have strong instinct and a unique creative vision. And everyone is going to try to, put you on other ways and other sides, and just hold on tight. Your instinct is your art.
Laura, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Good luck with the premiere
tonight. Thank you very much.
And success with the film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Filmmakers Podcast exists thanks to your support. If you'd like to ensure that we can keep on exploring the filmmaking world with you, subscribe to our Patreon.